I have a friend of mine who has a huge problem with cats. Every time he sees a cat, whether the cat be harmless or not, he freaks out. He just goes crazy. So I am currently reading some notes I've written from Charlie Munger's book, and I came across something that's very interesting: the bias of mere association. That is happening with my friend right now. I asked him, bro, why are you so afraid of cats? And he was like, yeah, bro, I thought you'd never ask. So he shared his experience with me about the one moment where he started to dread cats forever up until this moment. And I think that he will carry that fear until his grave. So his story goes like this. He was like, I was once at home with my family, his mom, his dad, and his younger sister. They were watching a movie. It was like 9 p.m. If I can recall. It was 9 p.m. and the whole family was in the living room watching a movie, and suddenly he heard two cats fighting on the roof. In Mozambique, it's very common for houses to be zinc. I think it's called zinc. I'm not really sure. In Portuguese, we call them chapas. So many houses are made of have zinc or chapas on top as a roof. So they all heard in this case, they all heard the two cats fighting, whatever, and he freaked out. I think he said he was like 9 at the time. Yeah, he said he was 9 or 10. He freaked out and he looked at his mom and asked, "Mom, what the hell is going on?" Because when cats fight, they sound like humans. They scream, and that's exactly what happened. So the cats were fighting blah, 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 on the roof, and his dad stood up and went to see what was going on. He also stood up with his dad, thinking he was a man already. Like, yeah, dad, I'm gonna help you solve this problem. You know how boys are when they're getting older. He steps outside the house with his dad, and as ironic as it sounds, the cats fell, like they fell from the roof to the yard. They fell and they continued the fight on the ground, bro. And he has dogs at his place. So when the cats fell, it kind of made I'm not really sure if it made a noise, but then his dogs just came running and his dad was there. Like, when the dogs arrived, his dad was trying to scare the dogs away. Like, bro, I don't know what the dog's name was, Bobby or Rex. We had in my family a dog called Rex. So we can call one of his dogs Rex. So one of the dogs comes running like fast, barking, woo, and it tries to attack the cat. While the cat was trying to run away, you know how cats have like very impressive reflexes, and cats are very flexible and quick. While the dog was coming in the direction of the cat, during an attempt to run away, jumped on the boy's head, like my friend's head. It jumped on his head and he freaked out. He got so crazy that he couldn't even, like, every time he recalls that moment, he freaks out. Even when he was explaining to me why he has this fear of cats, he freaks out. So the cat jumped on his face. The cat left some claw marks on his head, on his face, and he started crying. He freaked out. The dogs were barking like crazy. The other cat fled. That one like jumped on his face, and I don't know what else happened. That's all he described. It probably ran away as well, but he got some claw marks on his face. He actually has some scars on his face because of that specific situation. And up until today, he is terrified of cats. So even if we are around cats that don't have any problem or are just chilling or just there, we have people have preferences. I prefer dogs over cats, and there are people who prefer cats to dogs. So, yeah, it's all just a preference. So we went to a friend of mine's house, another friend of ours. We went to his house, and he saw a cat there. That friend of mine has a cat in his house, and it walks around wherever it wants to. They're very liberal in my friend's place, so they allow their cats to walk around the house and whatnot. So he saw the cat and he started to freak out, and I was like, "Yo, bro, chill, man. Why are you acting like this?" And he explained the story, and we're all like, "Oh yeah, cool." And now, as I'm reading my notes from Charlie Munger's book once more, I found the bias of mere association. So we tend to judge stimulus from the previous experiences that we've had in the past. So we tend to judge a stimulus because of, so for example, my friend judges cats to be bad because of the experience that he's had with cats. And I'm a person who am prone to the bias of mere association as well because I'm human and I've had a similar experience. My experience is with females. So once I used to believe that every woman, when in a relationship, is loyal, respectful, caring, and mostly loyal. My problem is being loyal. And that's where the bias of mere association comes in. So for a long time, I used to believe that women could be trusted. Women are trustworthy. What happens is, I've been in a couple of experiences where I've seen unfaithfulness with my own eyes from women, and it's very hard from that point to start believing in what women have to say in general, bro. Because from my point of view, I think that the experiences that I've had in the past with these women who are promiscuous and were unfaithful to their partners, not to me, I started to think that my idea towards relationships and women is flawed because eventually I'd be the fool of the story. Because in general, bro, women women will show you flames, my brother. And I honestly don't want to be put in a position where I doubt my partner and think that she is going to be promiscuous eventually and be unfaithful to me. But we are going to cross that bridge when we get there. The bias of mere association resonates with my experience because now, every time I have an opportunity to express my love and desire towards a woman, I end up doubting her honesty. I end up doubting her faithfulness. I end up doubting if whatever she's telling me is actually true. And honestly, that is ruining the relationships I am yet to establish with people who are willing to show and give me love. But who I'm not to blame. The experiences I've been through with promiscuous women and unfaithful women have instilled in my mind that it's very much probable that women, all women in this case, have these behaviors. I'm not saying that all women are promiscuous. I'm not saying that all women are unfaithful. I'm not saying this in a general standpoint or a general point of view. In my perspective, from the experiences that I've had, I've started to associate these experiences merely. And it is visible that I am now being, I am, if we observe this situation clearly, I am, I am going through the bias of mere association just because I am not judging each woman by their own character and behavior. I am associating all of the experiences that I've had with women in general and making a conclusion as to what I'm going to receive in return, which is not good. So, Charlie Munger tells us that the bias of mere association Charlie Munger tells us from the bias of mere association that we need to judge. Charlie Munger tells us from the bias of mere association that we need to judge and evaluate things, people, and situations at their own merit. We should not associate any past experience to what we are living in the present moment. So let's say I find a very beautiful woman that I can definitely fall in love with, give love to, and build a family with. From the experiences I've had in the past with promiscuous women, I would start to judge and evaluate the potential spouse. I would evaluate her behavior through the experiences that I've had in the past, which is not a good idea because now I will start to doubt her. Everything she says will be a lie in my mind. Everything she says she's doing, I will start to doubt and probably put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation. So, some advice for you is not be associating or evaluating current situations with past situations because conditions change, and when conditions change, different experiences happen. So it's very important that you evaluate, conclude, and analyze situations at their own merit. Situations, things, people at their own merit. So if you're meeting a new girl, give her the benefit of the doubt and don't doubt on her. Believe what she has to say until her behavior proves contrary. And for my friend who has a very big fear of cats, the only advice I have for you today is stop again judging, evaluating, and analyzing situations based on the experiences you've had in the past. You need to judge, evaluate, and understand situations at their current state, at their current conditions, and have no mere association with the past.